Hello, Jason here. Um, don't mind the rugged appearance right now. It's just it's like 4 in the morning. I'm usually up about this time, just looking at people's videos, see what kind of content they have, and all I'm trying to do is trying to, like what I've been trying to say. Oh, sorry. Thank you for subscribing to me. Those that do subscribe to me, I appreciate it. Um, I'm not really looking for subscribers. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not vain like that. All I'm trying to do is do my job. Like everyone has a job in their life. They like enjoying doing things. For me, I love the Word of God, right? And from the day I started learning about it, and I just been fascinated by it. That's why I find I have such a passion of the Word of God that when I see people lying about it, I have to say something about it because it's not right. Anyways, that's not what I'm here to talk about. My point is, what I'm trying to say is that July 7th is the anniversary from the first time that I actually began my journey with understanding who God and Jesus were, right? And there are information that I came up with that comes from the Word of God, and there's a story, there's a hidden story in there, okay, that I don't think people really know. But we do know that Jesus, was the sacrifice, but we don't know what actually transpired, right? And right before I started understanding the Bible at 8 years old, that's when I got my first Bible, right? And it was King James Picture Bible. And what led me to that was I still don't know. But anyways, I grew up in Outlook, Saskatchewan, and I started attending Outlook Alliance Church at about 8 years of age, and yeah, I'm from Canada, as you see from my shirt. Right? I got the cool bat symbol there. So, anyways, I'm going to be going to Outlook, Saskatchewan. Um, on the anniversary date is when this all started for me, and maybe one day I'll go into detail and make a video. Right now, my computer is down. My computer has been down since July or June 1st, and which coincides with Matthew 16:20. You can read that verse and you can see for yourself, right? And I'll go into an explanation to what that verse actually means, right? Because what people think that they're expecting Jesus' kingdom to come, right, and him to come take everybody with him. That's not going to happen. Okay, Jesus has fulfilled his 1,000-year reign from the time he was crucified up until now, up until Exodus 20:20, where Moses said unto the people, "Fear not, for God has come to prove you that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not." Right? Exodus 20:20. The only place in the Bible where God's actually saying he's coming to prove, okay, which coincides with this year, right? And I've waited for this year my whole life because I've known that verse was coming because I knew 2020 was on its way. I just wanted to see what was going to happen on this day, and exactly has happened, exactly how everything has transpired, right? It all began with this virus, coronavirus, which didn't start 2020 with a bang that everybody expected, but it all happened in a relatively, you know, tragic beginning, right? Reason why I say tragic is because there's a lot of false Christians out there leading many astray. They love Paul's words, they don't love Jesus' words, right? And that's the point. We have to focus on Jesus' words only. That's it. We gotta leave Paul. You gotta come out of Paul's doctrine, and I only say that because I'm trying to wake up as many people as I can and get them back to Jesus. Because the point of the matter is, what people don't realize that in John chapter 7:39, it talks about that the Spirit wasn't given yet because that Jesus was not glorified yet. What that means is that when Jesus was condemned on the cross, right, by the Jewish council and the Roman garrison that was there, um, really had no, the Romans really had nothing to do about it. They just, they were the police officers during that time. But the Jewish council were the ones that condemned Jesus on the cross. And basically what they tried to cover that story up. And they're still in denial about it. And what's so tragic about it is because there's a story I don't know if you're familiar with. He was in considering Black Lives Matter, right? And this is in support for that. Um, there's a story. I don't know if any of you know. There's a boxer. I think in the 70s or 80s. He was falsely convicted of a crime he didn't commit. He was called the Hurricane, right? And I know there's a movie made about him and all that sort of stuff, but he was pardoned for the crime that he didn't commit. All right, and this is exactly what people don't realize when they think that when Paul says that, oh, we're waiting for Jesus' redemption. That's not what. It's not about us. It's completely far from us, right? Because what we should be doing is we should be advocating for Jesus' redemption, and we shouldn't be. We should fight for his lifting, for his pardon from the Jewish council. That's how Jesus gets glorified, because he did the greatest thing in the world that anybody has ever did for anybody, right? Uh, I'm going to ask you guys a very serious question. Are you able to give up your life for your friends? That's what Jesus has done for the whole world, and it's our job to to try and have him pardoned through the Jewish council, right? It's my love for him for what he has done, because there's a hidden story that I'm going to eventually share one day once I get it all organized, and I don't think that's going to happen not until on his anniversary date on my anniversary date on July 7th, and that's when I'm going to come up with that video, right? July 7th, the 7th and the 7th and the 7th, on my I think one of my videos I gave the information that when no man knows the day and hour, right? I'm not sure if I did, but I recorded it on my Facebook, and I've been sending it to people and indicating people exactly how things transpire and how things fit in, right? But my goal, and I hope that you guys all hear me, that it should be up to us, the followers of Jesus Christ, to have him pardoned in the Jewish council. Whether we raise money in order to get that done, but that's what we should be doing. That's what we should be focusing on, right? Because God is observing our behavior right now, because we're in God's. I don't like to say God's judgment, but God's observing right now. He's taking notes. He's picking out his people, and he's showing his. The kingdom is here. The start of the kingdom is here. Reason why I say that is we go back to Matthew 16:20, where he charged his disciples that you should tell no man that he was Jesus the Christ, right? Because like I keep saying, that there's two of us, okay? Zechariah 4:14, right? And Acts 17 verse 7. There's a Jason and Jesus. Okay, there's a bigger story going on in the Bible that nobody's are negligent to look at. Okay, there are two key figures. Okay, no one knows who this Jason is. Okay, in Acts 17. All right, and the history that I gathered was that he was a high priest, and he did live in Israel. And the name Jason is actually Yason, or son of Yah. Okay, who is this person? Okay, kind of makes you want to think in who that person is or was, right? And it fits in a line of Paul, or who is Saul before, right? Saul, the one that was murdering and massacring and condemning a lot of people to the cross, right? Um, he did a lot of damage. But anyways, I'm going to cut this short. I'm going to be going to Aldic, Saskatchewan, right, July 7th, and I'm going to, fulfill my anniversary date where I came and understood all this stuff, right, and read the Bible. That's going to happen. And I'm just going to let you know that things are okay with me. Just my computer's down. I'm not haven't been reach anybody because God cut me off. Right? He's saying, Jason, you're done. Now it's up to the people to make up their minds who they're going to follow, Paul or Saul, right, or Jesus or Saul. Anyways, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to subscribe to my channel. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, and soul. I didn't come to take away the law of the prophets. I came to fulfill. Thank you, and God bless. Love you all.